Hello, hey YouTubers, this is your boy NOSH STAXXS from Tarzan Tactics. I'm going to do a quick run through and presentation on my latest addition to my firearms collection. Without further ado, I'm just going to get right into it. We're going to start with a safety check. Although it's not totally necessary, we have here the Mossberg International 702 plinkster. Live mag in. Empty. Safe direction. Weapon is safe. First of all, we'll go over some of the modifications that I've done. It's pretty much on steroids here. Probably don't know what you're looking at. Probably can't tell. You know, this is your Mossberg 702 plinkster. They normally come with a standard 10 round magazine. Mine didn't come with this 10 round magazine. I had to order it online. I think eBay or cheaper than dirt. Pretty cheap. Not too bad. But other than that, we'll get into some of the modifications. You know, by the way, it came with a 25 round mag, and I'll get to that in a second. But the mods I've made so far have been to add Spartan LaserMax. I don't know if you can see that. LaserMax Spartan, whatever, which I've retrofitted with a USB power supply. And I just charged these power supplies to eradicate the whole use of CR123 lithium batteries for lasers. This thing will eat through them so fast, you know, it's ridiculous. So in order to alleviate the issue of having to buy, repeat buying these batteries, I just went ahead and integrated the USB power plugs. And, I just charge these in the wall like a cell phone, and it lasts me for tons and tons and tons of hours longer than the regular lithium batteries. They're not rechargeable, by the way. These give me the option of being able to recharge everything. I also put tack light on here, also with the laser, pretty decent. And it works wonders. Pretty good lumen spectrum on there. I've angled it to where it cascades off of my front sight in a certain way. I don't know if you can see it here, but I don't know if you notice, it cascades off the front sight just a little bit. I don't know if you can see the bead on there. I'll remove the shroud just a little bit. You see that? How it cascades off the front sight, gives me a little bit of illumination to it at night. It's basically practically night vision. You don't need an IR scope, especially if you're going to be doing some up close shooting or whatever, or closer ranges. You know what I mean? With something like this, you might not be going too far out in distance taking the shot either way anyway. So keep that in mind. It's a 22 LR, by the way. Aside from that, mine came with a 25 round mag, which I've wrapped in light plastic, in the event, for a hurricane or a tough storm, or whatever. You don't want your ammunition getting wet inside the mag or inside the mag well or whatever. I just rounded off the mag or whatever at the, semi-top or whatever, like a Volvo. And you still have access to your release or whatever. It'll still go in harmlessly. And you can still access it snug. Still good. Still good. Alright. Other modifications that I've made, pretty much I put on a fanny pack of sorts. Put on a fanny pack or whatever. It's a first aid kit or whatever you can access. Your spare mag or whatever. Spare magazine I've also wrapped in plastic. In the event for the hurricane, I've got some dry pack of ammunition or whatever. These things normally come with a plastic slip when you first get it. Keep your slip. Keep the plastic inside the box. Keep that. You never know what it may come in handy for, and you might have to use your weapon in hard weather, or wet weather. You can pull that plastic slip along the length of your rifle and, put some rubber bands on it in certain areas, pop a hole through your sights or whatever for your mag and for your trigger or whatever, trigger guard or whatever. And you'll have a dry functional weapon. You may have to get some, rust, you might pick up some rust issues here and there or whatever, but your rifle will still be functional. that's pretty much what it's all about. So without further ado, we'll move on. Got your earplug here or whatever. This fanny pack's got, all types of things in it. It's got flashlights, spare flashlights, hooks, measuring tape that you could use semi for a tourniquet if you need that as well. Multi-tool knife, I've got some Whistler firecrackers, Whistler bottle rockets. They pretty much are makeshift flares if you get stranded on a rooftop or anything like that, and you see a passing ship in the distance and they can't totally hear you or they don't see you. You can light a couple of these Whistler firecrackers and make as much noise as you can. I've also got a mirror, a little combat type mirror, but it's not combat at all. I'm not military or law enforcement, but don't get that confused. You can use the mirror to peek around corners or to reflect light. If you see a passing ship, you need to reflect some to get their attention if you're not close enough to be loud enough for them to notice you. Moving on, I've also integrated a UTG shoulder holster along with a mag carrier or whatever. You can pretty much pop your mags in and out. 1 mag, 2 mag. You say, what do you got the mags in here for that doesn't even fit the rifle? Well, this isn't exactly for my rifle. It's just to keep it close and handy. What I have here, along with the sling swivel, or the sling, I have it to whereas I can just quite simply draw my sidearm straight out of here, and that goes in pretty good, fits pretty snug, and it's pretty secure. No problems there at all. But other than that, this thing came with the 10-round mag, and it did not come with the 10-round mag, pardon me, excuse me. I'm not going to chamber around. So, I was lucky to get a more tactical version of it, and it pretty much sits like that, and don't get it twisted. So if you're going to have all this on there, don't think it's not comfortable. It's pretty comfortable, no problems there at all. No problems there at all. And this has been NOSH STAXXS Tarzan Tactics. How do you like me now? How do you like me now? Over and out.